Good morning again. Well, exciting One Direction news coming up very shortly. And first, the artist formerly known as Cat Stevens, who grew up in the heart of the theatre district in the West End of London and has now woven his iconic catalogue of songs into a musical production of his own. Yusuf invited me to his new home in Melbourne to hear about his passion project, Moonshadow.
Oh, Richard.
Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you.
How are you?
Great.
You're looking well.
Thank you. You too.
Why Melbourne? Why Australia to premiere this new show?
I've always had a good experience in Australia. It's always been good for me, and there's been a kind of a connection with my music, I think, and growing up with the generation, the 70s, you know, I kind of represented the 70s in some sense.
Sure.
To a lot of people, and somehow that reflects on the way I feel today, you know, and what I want to say today.
Well, this is a big deal. This is a big production. This is millions of dollars.
It's taken also 10 years of my life, you know, it's kind of off and on, I mean, you know. It's like a culmination of my dreams and my music all together. You know, I wanted to be a composer, and so I always wanted to write a musical, but sort of I ended up being a pop star. So I realized that in the end, you know, I suppose it's taken that amount of time for me to build the experience, and in fact the catalogue, because I mean all the songs are in there, you know.
Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven.
Can you tell me the story of the show?
But it's a story about a planet that has no days, you know, it's only night, there's only a moon giving natural light. And so everybody has to work very hard to pay for light and heat. It's very much kind of the scene today. But there's this one young man, you know, who has this dream about this mythical lost land of the sun. He meets his Moonshadow, who inspires him to go and seek that world. And so it's love at the heart of the story. It's about life.
And I know that I have to go away.
Your songs are, of course, woven through the musical. Wild World, Matthew and Son, Father and Son.
Yeah, I mean, all the major songs are there because Father and Son was originally written for a musical about the Russian Revolution. You know, only I would do the Russian Revolution. But anyway, so nobody else wanted to do it. So it just got to be a track on my Tea for the Tillerman.
Not just a track.
Not just a track. It's probably one of the most, you know, important songs.
Yes.
And it's, you know, and so many of the songs, Wild World, I had to though find a way of weaving the songs into the story in such a way that it would not be, you know, forced. It wouldn't be shoehorned. The songs have to have a reason. But somehow, you know, when you see the show, you realize just how well it happens. You know, how all the songs now tell the story. Musical
theatre can be wildly successful, also fiendishly expensive to produce. I mean, and this is your baby. You've got to have deep pockets to do this stuff, don't you?
Yeah, well, I've been saving up, you see, and started my first record. I said, right, there's one penny. In the end, I think it was Andrew Lloyd Webber who said, you know, you've got to produce it yourself. Who's got more confidence in it than yourself? I mean, me as the writer, as the author, if you like. And the songs, I just believe, need a very special home, and I had to be involved in it.
And if I ever lose my eyes, if my colors all run dry.
Moonshadow, the title song. Do you remember where you were, what time and place you were at when that song came to you?
When I took a holiday once to Spain, I was out there alone on the rocks, kind of midnight, and the moon was shining full. And all of a sudden I looked over, what? I've got my shadow, Moonshadow. First time I'd realised that the moon casts a shadow, and that was for a little town boy like me, and that was news. So then I wrote the song.
Is there one song of yours that stands tall? You go, wow, that's pretty good.
I think it's like a family. You can't just take one member out, pluck him out, and say that, you know, he represents.
Well, you can, but you shouldn't.
You can, but you shouldn't. Yeah, you're right. You should be fair, and I am fair to all my songs. And you know, I think that. You know, I think, you know, there's all kind of, you know, general love.
And I know that I have to go away. I know I have to go.
What an absolutely astounding catalogue of songs. And Moonshadow will have its world premiere at the Princess Theatre in Melbourne next month. All the details are on our website. Catalogue?
Oh,
We liked it.
We love it. We love it.
Beautiful interview, Dickie.
Great interview.
Well, he's a lovely, lovely, lovely man.
Isn't he?
Yeah, very good indeed.